Hey guys, it's Pamela. So in today's video, it's going to be completely different than the other videos that I filmed here on YouTube. Now, this one is going to be more about more of a mental health video. So I wanted to talk about inner beauty, and I was very fortunate enough to find a therapist that was willing to film this video with me. Her name is Brooke. She was so amazing. She answered all the questions that I had. She had amazing answers to. She gave good advice, good feedback, and I definitely learned something from her doing this interview. I felt like Oprah. Not really, but kind of. Yeah, so it was really fun. I was really nervous, but it overall was honestly such a good experience. I loved it so much. And I hope you guys really enjoy this video and take something from it. This is something that I really wanted to film for you guys. And I mean, I would love to film more videos on mental health because it's such an important topic. And I know it can be touchy, and I know there's so many things that you can talk about when it comes to mental health. But like I said with this video, I really wanted to focus on inner beauty and just gaining that self-love and self-respect for yourself, because I mean, for me, in the past couple of weeks, I've been through a very bittersweet journey of healing and growing, and I find that I'm in a much better place with myself, and I have more love for myself, and I just want to share that and give that to the world or anyone who's watching, because it's so important to just love yourself completely, unconditionally. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, if you're interested, just keep on watching. Hey guys, it's Pamela. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to dive into a topic that I'm pretty passionate about, and it's inner beauty. I recently started a YouTube channel, and it's really all about skincare, beauty, how to obtain beauty on the outside, but I want to talk about how to obtain inner beauty. So we have Brooke here, and Brooke, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, I'm Brooke Williamson. I'm a marriage and family therapist based in Texas. I also started a nonprofit where we share information on mental health called Mental Monarchs. And so this is pretty much what I do every day, talk about feeling good, talking about our mental health, and helping clients feel better about the situations that they're in.
Yeah, and I thought Brooke would be the perfect person to bring in, because I mean, she knows a lot about it. She helps a lot of people with mental health situations. So first things first, I want to talk about, what do you think is inner beauty?
Yeah, so inner beauty is super subjective, right? Everybody, depending on your culture, gender, it's different. But I personally think inner beauty are personality and characteristic traits that generally make a good person. And also when your actions and your thoughts and your feelings all line up together. And so you could have really good thoughts, but if your actions aren't about it, then there's not as much congruency there. So I think inner beauty is when everything's all interconnected and you are genuinely being who you are.
Right. And I think, I mean, for me, I've always thought inner beauty was when you're aligned mind, body, and spirit, and you want to be kind and compassionate to others. I mean, when you're happy on the inside, you will definitely exude that on the outside, and it's much more vibrant than obtaining outer beauty. Now, I feel like inner beauty, I mean, all this is good, but there's a lot of factors that come into how to obtain inner beauty and what can affect inner beauty. So what do you think can affect inner beauty? Do you think it's social media, trauma, society?
Yeah, external environments definitely influence our inner beauty because we hear comments or we've been through certain things, and so that causes us to doubt ourselves. And so our life experiences and our childhoods, not surrounding ourselves with positive people, definitely influence how we are, or even our confidence as well. If we are surrounded by a bunch of supportive people who bring out the the positive parts of us, then we are more confident because we hear about those things. But if we surround ourselves with negative people who highlight the bad things about us, then we start losing that inner beauty and that confidence because we're like, oh, what's going on? Maybe I'm not as cool as I thought, or I'm not as intellectual as I thought. And so definitely inner beauty, although it's from the inside, it is so around us because our family members, our life experiences, and our childhood really shape our inner beauty.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I mean, for me personally, I feel like as a child, I always felt like out of place, and I think it came from like my past trauma. And when you're, like you said, when you're surrounded by positive people, like that's great and all, but a lot of people, they may not be surrounded by positive influences, because it's also like how your family raises you. I feel like that I've heard someone say, when you look at something through a different positive mindset, everything seems to like open up for you. But I mean, like, I think like social media also has a factor in like obtaining inner beauty.
I completely agree. Social media, we're on it all day, right? So of course it's also an external environmental factor which affects our inner beauty. And so the thing about social media is that it could either break us down, or we could use it as the powerhouse tool that it really is. And so kind of the same thing about when you surround yourself in real life with positive people, following the right people on social media and using your resource buttons like the mute button and the unfollow button very wisely. You know, social media can end up being a very influential, powerful, supportive tool, or it could drain you. And so I think, you know, social media and the way you use it is really important. And so social media, all the time I tell a lot of my clients and even my friends, I tell them, follow people who inspire you and make you feel good and who you relate to. If your feed is making you doubt yourself and you're constantly comparing yourself and feeling down about yourself, that doesn't mean that social media is wrong. That means that you're following the wrong people. And so taking control of your situation is the most empowering thing that you could do for yourself. And the best thing about, you know, environmental factors, I guess, affecting your inner beauty is that you can change those environmental factors. And so you could change who you follow, and you could decide not to follow certain people. And so I think using social media the right way is really important. And with limits, not all day, you know, just, you know, in the morning or during your lunch break is the right way to use it. If you're on it all day, well, of course you're going to start feeling bad.
Yeah. And I mean, you mentioned how, like, you know, sometimes people can have a negative effect, family. You know, you can't choose your family, so you have to set healthy boundaries. And you have to kind of have, like, that tough conversation with yourself. Okay, like, this person makes me feel really bad, or this situation triggers me. So you want to set, like, a healthy boundary. And I think sometimes it can be hard for people. Like, even me, it can be hard because I'll set a boundary and I'll be like, okay, this person is affecting me. Like, I'm gonna stay away from them, and, you know, but then sometimes it takes practice. It's like a marathon, not a sprint, to, like, achieve all this, like, boundaries with people and to, you know, have compassion, because we have to be mindful. Not everyone is going to think the way you do. And that you can't control what other people do. You can only control what you do. So, how do you stop comparing yourself to other people just in general? Because I think some people, you feel like because they're so happy, you're like, why can't I be that happy? Or what's it about their life that I'm not doing? What do you think?
So the way that we even tell ourselves what's going on, so there's healthy and unhealthy comparison, right? So if we see somebody with like a master's degree and we want a master's degree, well, that's not comparison, that's admiration.
Right.
And there's a big difference between comparison and admiration. I think sometimes we also think that we're comparing ourselves when we're really admiring other people for the amazing things that they've done, or being able to be happy, because being happy is even a skill in itself that you have to work towards. And so, and I think, you know, finding out what is it about this person, what is it that they have that I'm jealous about, or that I'm comparing myself to, and if it's something that's realistically able to be attained, go and also grab that thing. Go and
Right.
also work towards it. But it's also, and I think how we were talking about, the thoughts and our feelings and our actions being together. You can think that you want a master's degree or want that, but if your actions don't follow up with it, then you're going to continue to feel really bad.
Yeah.
And so it's following through with those comparisons and those admirations and figuring out, is it an attainable thing for me to do? Because that's a healthy comparison. Now, unhealthy comparisons are, comparing yourself to an Instagram influencer who has always been wealthy and then thinking, I want, their money, or I want, and it's like her green eyes when we have brown eyes. It's, something completely unattainable. Then really do some self-reflection and say,
Right.
what is it? What have I encountered? A lot of times, especially being Latina women, a lot of times the internet is full. I mean, I am white passing, but a lot of times my clients, they say, they see a lot of like white women being promoted online, and they're like, oh my God, like that's what beauty means. So you really have to look towards and figure out, okay, the things that I want, is this what society tells me that I want? Is this what I truly want? Is it what my parents want for me? And so I think that comparison also can be, just like social media, a valuable tool that you can really use to reflect and be like, what is it? Like, where is this coming from? How come I'm even comparing myself to this person? And you could use that really to your benefit and figure out what is it that I like? Is it attainable? How's it going? And so I think also the language that we use is really important. If you're telling yourself, well, I'm comparing myself to this person, yeah, that feels bad. But if you're telling yourself, well, I'm admiring this person, I look up to this person, our peers and the people on social media, they're also our role models. These people are our role models. And so the way we go about it is just so much different. And it doesn't comparing yourselves does not have to be a negative thing. And I think society and sometimes, Instagram tells us, if you're comparing yourself, that means you don't like where you are. But that's not the truth. Comparison is not a bad thing. It's honestly a really big self-reflection moment of like, hey, I didn't know that would make me jealous. I didn't know that a happy family would make me jealous. And then you see one and then you're like, do I want a family? Or do I want, that degree? Or do I want to work in that field? And so I think comparison could be, in some ways, a very healthy thing.
I mean, I like the way you explain that, because, I mean, it could be, you're just admiring somebody for who they are, and you're like, wow, they seem so happy, and they're so vibrant with, like, their smile or whatever. It's just very energetic and, like, vibrant.
And you can use that to push yourself to be more about that person. If it's a good and healthy thing, if they're living a healthy life, then those are things that you can work towards.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. So you mentioned, like, everyone, like, comparing is not a bad thing. And I definitely don't think it is. And I think people have to remember that we're all put on this earth for a different purpose, for a different reason. Not everyone, I mean, we're all very different. Like, our uniqueness is what makes us us. And then also, I feel like when it comes to inner beauty, it takes time and you have to gain wisdom. It's not something that is just, you're just going to get it like that. Which I don't want to, like, come across like, yeah, this is so easy to obtain inner beauty, because honestly, it's a work in progress. Like, I'm still working on it, and it's going to be a lifetime of, like, work.
Exactly. It's a skill. We talk clients all the time, because a skill, it feels like it's more attainable, right? So inner beauty and confidence, these things they're not tangible, so it feels like they're really hard to attain. But if you look at it the same way as building a skill, it's working on it every day. Some days you're better than others, but in the end of the day, it's really a skill that you have to work towards by doing healthy things every single day. So eating right, sleeping right, doing things that are healthy for your soul, having happy habits. Those are all things that help build this self-confidence, that helps build this inner beauty. And whenever you do these things and you become confident, then, you really start becoming a lot happier, and your actions and your words and your feelings and thoughts, they all start to align, and you're living your most genuine, authentic self.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. So one of the other questions is, what are some, like, daily exercises or tips you can give to our audience to increase inner beauty?
So definitely like I had said, taking care of yourself every single day. So that's eating the right foods. It's not eating the right foods so you can lose weight or be on a diet, but it's really eating the right foods that make you feel good. Healthy, happy foods, as well as, limiting your social media intake. If you notice that some days are better than others, don't spend 2 to 4 hours a day, okay, maybe, but 6 to 10 hours a day, that's obviously not very good. And also, if you're finding yourself comparing yourself to a lot of people and just finding, not a lot of confidence, it's really important. Write down all of the things that make you unique. Like you were saying, everybody's unique and on their own path and journey. Write down all of the things that make you you, that make you unique, that are positive, and really take those in, because you have things that other people don't have, and other people have things that we don't have. So it's really important to write those down and memorize what are the good things about yourself. And those are things that, like a skill that you should be working on every day. You should be self-reflecting and really taking the time to think about your thoughts and really taking the time to think about the positive things. It's not just something you do once a month. It should honestly be something you should do maybe at the end of the day. Take a moment to talk to yourself, self-reflect, and write down the things that went well, and really focus on your positive abilities and capabilities.
Yeah, like for example, like what I do, I journal a lot now. It's something that I've always been interested in doing, and I was just like, no, I'm fine. And I started journaling everything because I'm a constant thinker, and I just wanted to just write down my thoughts, and I meditate, and it has helped me out tremendously. I also go to church. I listen to podcasts, like self-help podcasts, which also helps because everyone experiences something that we do. Like, we're all human, and even though it may seem like someone has a perfect life on the outside, you don't know what everyone's dealing with. Everyone has their own traumas. They all have their inner demons, and it's just, you have to find out what works for you and what doesn't, because, it's going to help you in the long run, and it definitely has helped me be in a better, I feel like I'm in a better path. I feel happier. But it's not, growing and healing is such it's a long journey, because I think when I was younger, I was an avoidant person. So I would be like, no, I'm fine. That didn't affect me. And it was a traumatic experience for me. And I think because life can be so fast paced, and you just worry about what's going on every day, and it caught on to me, and now I just started to realize it's time to work on me and my inner beauty and work on the person that I want to become. And that's something that everyone at one point or another, you're going to have to do for yourself too.
It's relearning a lot of the things that we went through when we were younger, and relearning them into more healthy habits, because we can't put how we feel onto other people and expect them to still care about us if we've not dealt with the stuff we do, and then take it out on somebody else. We might lose friendships and family members along the way. So also not working on yourself will eventually cost you your relationships. And that's the thing about inner beauty. A really good quote I had seen was, inner beauty is so powerful, it can transform the way people look at you. So, maybe some people might be the most beautiful person on the outside, but their personality will make them the most beautiful person in the room. And somebody who may look beautiful on the outside can have a bad personality, and then people don't think they're beautiful anymore. And so I think inner beauty is extremely powerful.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's, you feel good showing compassion and kindness to other people. I definitely do. I love making people happy. And then I feel like, it feels good to see other people happy, and that's really what you want, and you want to make yourself happy.
And you really have to explore these things too. What works for, meditating for you might not work for somebody else. Somebody else's might be knitting, another person's might be bike riding. So it's really exploring those things. And the things about our coping skills and things that make us happy is that some days, it might be running that makes you happy, but then it's raining and you can't go running, and then you need something else. And so it's good to explore and have multiple options and have different things that you can go to when times get tough.
Yes, and I think the biggest thing about inner beauty is knowing who you are and being confident in who you are and what makes you happy. I think that's number one for me when it comes to that, because like you said, like there's some things that can help for some people and other things that may not. So you have to find out who you are, what your interests are, and your hobbies. So yeah. Well, I really love this subject. I can go on and on about this. I really wanted to make this video for you guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Thank you, Brooke, for coming in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Thank you.